Under the Affordable Care Act, navigation programs emphasize on health insurance. There are five different mandates that list the responsibilities of a federal navigator. The first one is raising awareness. Here, the navigators have to advise the patients on their available healthcare plans. The second one is providing unbiased information. Here, not only do the navigators have to lay out the available plans for the patient, but they cannot state which one they prefer over another, and they have to let the patient decide. Third, assist with enrollment. Here, the navigator does various tasks for the patient, such as making the necessary phone calls, managing their paperwork, and finding a provider. Fourth is providing referrals. And here, the navigator has to refer their patient to any other assistance programs they may be eligible for. And lastly, they have to convey all of this information in a culturally and linguistically appropriate fashion to their patient.
There are several values of the Federal Navigation Program. However, these are the top three that we have selected. First is targeted outreach and education services. Many of the people that utilize federal navigation programs might not understand the vocabulary of health insurance plans. They may not know how to estimate their income for the next year, and they may not know who counts as a family member when determining the correct plan. Federal navigators answer these questions along with many others to help the client choose the appropriate health plan for them. Secondly, they provide emotional support, information, and assistance with problem solving. For example, when we visited Swope Health Services, we spoke to navigators there who told us that they assist patients not only with choosing the correct health plan on that day, but they also help months down the line to ensure that they are getting the support that they need. And thirdly, there's an increased rate and reduced waiting time of follow-up. When clients are able to get the correct health plan that they need, they can get timely care in the future.
As my colleague Joy has just stated, patient navigation programs provide many benefits to the community that they serve. But, as with many things in life, they also face many challenges as well. I'll be speaking on three different challenges today. The first, the lack of an efficient metric system, the generalization of these patient navigation programs, and the lack of readily available information. Patient navigation programs lack an efficient evaluation system to prove their effectiveness to the federal government. Resulting from this, they are beginning more and more to lose funding. Patient navigation programs are also very generalized when they need to be specific to the community that they serve. By specifying these programs, they can decide the intent and outcomes that are expected of these programs. And finally, patient navigation programs lack readily available information to the public. They have not been accepted in majority hospitals, therefore creating a lack of awareness around healthcare.
As stated, federal navigation programs can be generalized and not specific to the populations they serve. However, a solution for that is a federal navigator internship program, where college students will be recruited to be trained and certified as federal navigators. Here, this program has three main objectives with the initials TMC: training, motivating, and coaching.
Entonces, lo que nosotros queremos hacer es crear un programa donde podemos alcanzar a los estudiantes de la universidad, porque ellos son los que pueden entender el idioma y la cultura de las personas que están intentando de servir. Did everyone get that? Okay, so Chase, why don't you expand and explain a little more what I was trying to say?
Okay. As you can see, language barrier plays a major role in generalization of federal navigation programs. However, a solution to that with this program is that we will recruit minority and bilingual college students. We will recruit these types of students because when a patient sees someone that looks like them, is familiar with their culture, and speaks the same language as them, they will be more inclined to receive the educated information that they receive and sign up for health insurance. The students that we will recruit for this program will have majors under the following: social work, public health, health science, nursing, and pre-medicine. We have selected these majors only because federal navigators seem to have degrees in these fields. As far as the student is concerned, they will receive hours in experience for this program and that they can put on their resumes and will be beneficial for them when applying to grad school. Here is just an example that we have, a flyer that we will post for UMKC students as an example, and then the recruiter would be Truman Medical Center financial counseling offices for the students.
Another solution that we propose is outreach and education. We plan to create pamphlets and brochures that can be distributed to the public that would inform them what the Federal Navigation Program is, what the services are, and how they can get access to these services. And basically, we plan to go where the people are. So for example, if the epicenter of gathering and communication in a community is the church, then we would go to the church so that hopefully this information can be given through the announcements. For people who have access to a phone app or the internet, we plan to create an app that can be used to give information about the services, frequently asked questions, and a healthy partner reward system, which would encourage healthy living outside of the use of the Federal Navigation Program.
So how would this healthy partner reward system function? Well, the concept itself is actually quite simple. Like any benefits program, the patient would have the opportunity to participate in certain activities that further and better their understanding of federal navigation programs. They can then build up these points and at the end of the year, claim a gift. So what type of activities might they participate in to earn these points? They can vary in difficulty and involvement. A simple activity might be watching a quick video or participating in an easy quiz that better explains concepts such as what is a federal navigation program or what is a deductible? An activity that might be worth more points could fall along the lines of referring a friend to your local navigator office or setting up an appointment. The rewards that we offer can also vary as well. On the examples we have here on the board, we focus on the Kansas City area. You can see we have a daily pass to the YMCA and a gift card to a healthy eating option, Cafe Gratitude, a vegan cafe. Now you might be thinking, won't it take time to establish these relationships with these businesses? Yes, but we have already seen a certain willingness from our own community. When our cohort visited the Linwood YMCA, we saw their partnership with the clinic right next door. They were willing to offer patients classes and programs to better their health and understanding. And if we can incorporate into this app, we can also further understanding of navigation programs.
Creating an efficient metric system to prove the effectiveness of these programs is one of the most important solutions to guaranteeing the success of future navigation programs. It's really quite simple, actually. If there is not an effective metric system to prove their effectiveness, federal government has no reason to continue funding these programs. If federal government discontinues their funding, then that means discontinuation of these federal navigation programs, which leads to more underinsured and uninsured patients. And for that reason, my colleagues and I had decided to create an example of what an evaluation form within the metric system could look like. One of the questions on the evaluation form may say, specify the number of individuals who are enrolled into healthcare plans through the program. This question is simply asking, how are you contributing to the end goal? Taking underinsured and uninsured patients and bringing them to being insured. Another question may say, how many businesses or organizations were recruited by your program to advocate for navigation services? This question is saying how these navigation programs are connecting with the businesses in their community to advocate for healthcare services.
So how does this contribute to the overall stability of federal navigation programs in the long run? Well, it really is a cycle. If we are able to stabilize one standard metric system, it not only allows the programs themselves to evaluate where they are allocating their time and resources, but they are also able to relay this information to their main source of funding, the federal government. Unfortunately, we found from the Henry Kaiser Family Foundation that from 2016 to 2017, 82% of navigator programs found themselves with a reduction in funding, some of them up to 80%. Imagine trying to do anything with just 20% of the initial money you were promised. We may have the best ideas and intentions, but it can be significantly more difficult to implement. So if we are able to stabilize this metric system, the federal government is able to see how effective we are being. They then want to continue to invest, and the cycle continues. It is therefore with these proposals that we hope to reach out to our community, to make them aware of the resources available to them, and so they can appreciate and better understand federal navigation programs.